joining me now is Namal Rajapaksa. He is Sri Lankan's opposition face, and he joins me because he's come out very strongly against what's happened. Namal Rajapaksa, how do you see the sinking of an Iranian warship by a US submarine just off the waters of Sri Lanka?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's Iranian submarine or it was sunk by the US or any other part, but what matters now at the moment is the security in our region and also in the Indian Ocean. And I think this is something that has to be seriously considered by the nations around Sri Lanka, also India and other nations as to what is happening in Indian Ocean at this given time. Because as you know, the Gulf is a different part of the world. I mean, that has already come to our coast as well now. So this is something that has to be taken very seriously by Sri Lanka as a government of Sri Lanka, and also part of Asian countries as well.
Are you saying that the government of Sri Lanka needs to raise this with the United States, that you brought a war even without the formal declaration of war to our shores within our exclusive economic zone, torpedoed a ship in our waters, and then a distress call results in the Sri Lankans having to rescue some of the Iranians? So it is now a matter of sovereignty of your country as well, your territorial sovereignty.
Yeah, of course. I mean, firstly, I must admit, we must appreciate the fact that Sri Lankan Navy under the Merchant Shipping Act has acted accordingly and mobilized vessels to rescue and make sure that the people are safe, and whatever the assistance that Sri Lankan Navy can give they have come forward to do that. But at the same time, I think Sri Lankan government first must answer to the people of Sri Lanka whether they were aware of this mission or they were left in dark. If they were left in dark, I'm sure I'm very certain they have to bring this topic up with the US authorities. If they were on understanding with them, then they have to make sure that they tell that in Parliament and make sure that the public of Sri Lanka is aware of such agreement that Sri Lankan government is taking. So first question must be answered by the government of Sri Lanka as to what is their stand and were they aware of this or not.
What is your information? Was the Sri Lankan government aware or not when you speak to government officers?
Well, I mean, see, they have been giving
because initially the Sri Lankan government was denying that this was a torpedo attack.
Yes, that's what I was about to tell you, because they were coming up with mixed reactions, mixed statements, confused statements, and confusing the public more. So first, I think from the Sri Lankan side, the government must put the act together and not put the whole blame or the responsibility on the Sri Lankan Navy. But diplomatically, the government has to make sure that they give a statement as to what is their stand and whether they are aware of this or not. And then if they are, then they have to make sure that they inform the public of Sri Lanka.